With this layup by Derek Mercer, 14th-seeded American University took a 14-point lead over heavily favored Villanova. And if the Eagles could have held on, it would have been the biggest upset of the first round of the NCAA tournament. Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of Eye on the Eagles. I'm Al Koken from the class of 1974, and we are here in the American University men's basketball team locker room, a team that over the past couple seasons has given this university some unbelievable thrills. A moment ago, we talked about Derek Mercer's layup, a 14-point lead over Villanova, a great team, and they were playing that great team in the home city. And what would have happened if American University had won? Whoa. All those brackets ruined around the country and so much more. But before we get to what happened in that game, let's tell you how American University got to that game. And it all began 2 weeks ago with the Patriot League tournament and a first-round matchup with Lafayette.
The 2009 Patriot League Player of the Year, a senior guard from American University, Derek Mercer. To the 2009 Patriot League Coach of the Year from American head coach Jeff Jones.
We're really excited about both awards. I think it really validates our season. So we're very excited that both of them were honored this way by their peers in the league. The interesting thing about the Patriot League tournament is it's one and done, and you don't have like a at-large bid, waiting for you. So if you don't win the tournament, you don't go to the NCAA tournament. Every time we play in the Patriot League tournament, everyone has sweaty palms because they know it could be the last time they lace it up for the season.
I thought at times tonight we played well. We played with a lot of intensity, but we couldn't really sustain it. And I exhorted them at halftime to come out with a much greater intensity and effort.
During the game because I'm spending time between my camera, watching the game, and also text messaging or doing BlackBerry message. Brian has a lot of his family, his Uncle Dave in California, and his very faithful grandmother in Chesapeake. And sometimes if the family has to go out, they text me for updates, and sometimes they just want to talk about the game because they're so excited.
I've been friends with Brian for many years, and after I took the picture I went up and showed Mr. and Mrs. Gilmore because I don't get any good pictures, and I got one good picture of Brian dunking. Wait, I can zoom in. Yeah, there you go. I'm very talented.
Uncle Dave, dunk with an exclamation point.
And I have Frank. Did I show you Frank?
No.
Yeah. Let me show you Frank's. That one is a little bit blurry. Here's Frank's. That one's really blurry.
I'm Joe Hill. I'm a freshman guard here at American University. Came to the game with about 20 seconds left today, and ball got swung to the top of the key, and the shot clock was low, so had to let it fly in, and then went in. It felt great, having my whole team behind me and all the crowd, all the coaches and the fans, cheering for me. It felt great. We got a lot of great players in this team. Derek was the player of the year in this league, and Garrison was first team. Just gotta, wait my time, work hard and practice, and hopefully, one day I will be playing.
I'm Dan, by the way. I work for the Washington Post. I write stupid stuff. Hi, this is Dan Steinberg from the Washington Post. I actually came out to the Patriot League quarterfinals to talk to some of the guys on the American Eagles about their playoff beards. I've written about basketball playoff beards for the NBA. I've written about hockey playoff beards. I've written about college lacrosse playoff beards, but I'd never written about college basketball playoff beards, and so I wanted to talk to some of these guys about why they were letting their facial hair go.
My goal is just to look as grimy and disgusting and nasty as possible so that I strike fear in my opponent. That's the only reason.
Do you think that's working?
Look at the scoreboard. Look at the scoreboard.
Everybody says I look Amish, so I don't know if Amish is the look I really want for it to look mean or whatever. You know, Brian Gilmore has a mullet. I think you should make sure you
I didn't know that.
make sure you mention that in the article.
Oh, there's Brian right there.
And he likes it. That's what he wants. He's very, very proud of it, even though his girlfriend hates it.
American will play again on Sunday at 12 noon right here at Patriot Arena.
Army came out and they attacked. They played like a team that had nothing to lose. What we saw was not that our players were not excited to play or that they weren't ready to play. I think maybe we were too ready to play. And what we saw was a team that for much of the game was playing not to lose rather than playing to win. And that was the first time that I'd seen that with this group for quite some time.
We were down 8 at halftime. I think a lot of it had to do with just the fact that Army was playing great ball.
Brian started to get hot in the second half coming out. He started shooting the ball really well.
Actually, I think it just started, they had a little bit of a mismatch and left me open for one of the shots, and that kind of got me started. And then we were able to get out in transition a little bit because of some stops and some turnovers, and got a couple layups. So really was just getting fortunate looks at the basket.
We were getting stops on the other end and forcing them to turn the ball over, and we're coming down in transition and making our shots.
Yeah, I think we were down 5, and Derek drove in the paint. It was only about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left, and he just dropped it off to me in the short baseline. And you know, I hadn't really scored too much that game, and you know, I had time to take a shot and had to get up. So I mean, I hit it luckily. And then we came down court on defense, and you know, Mercer drove his guy and forced him into me so I could make a play on the ball. And he was hustled and came up with the rebound, and you know, just like all season long, when we needed to make a big play, we had Brian there to do it for us. And you know, that's been the story of our season. When we needed to make big plays, someone's been able to do it for us.
We had just tied the game up with a 3, and Army had I think about 40 seconds left or so, and they're obviously going to their point guard, and Derek did a great job of making them take a bad shot, and we came up with the rebound, and Coach had told us that if we got to stop, to go ahead and run and see if we had something opportunistic on the other end, and got deflected, and it was just rolling around on the ground, and I was there to pick it up and try to get up a shot, and got fouled and got sent to the free throw line. Only a couple seconds left in the game, and short of the first one and kind of laughed it off. Got the nerves going, got out of me a little bit, and stepped up to the line and knocked down the second one. And there was like 3 seconds left, and they were forced to take a half-court contested shot, and we were able to pull off the W.
I don't know if I was the most relieved in the place, but I know I was probably the most emotional. Once he hit the game-winning free throws and the buzzer went off, I was just so happy with Gilmore that game. I mean, he was my favorite person in the world at that moment, and I just wanted to make sure he understood how grateful and thankful I was for him getting that win for us.
I'm Al Koken, and we thank you for joining us all year long on Eye on the Eagles.